This is Loose Mineral Foundation. If you had tried mineral makeup in the past but found that it was too dry or cakey and powdery, well, stay with me. And I'm going to show you how to put it on so that it looks more like natural skin. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that I actually want to do is explain the need probably for some primer. So I personally have drier, more mature skin, and I like to use a basic primer that I just made. It's made from aloe vera and distilled water and a little bit of glycerin. And what I like about it is it's very hydrating with aloe vera, and then the glycerin, of course, like adds more moisture to your skin and helps give it like a nice tacky feel so that the minerals will best be able to stick a little bit better. And all you do is you just put like a little bit. You can see how much I've just put on my finger, not much at all. And it might even be too much because it is very hydrating. So you just dot it along your face like that. You put it on like lotion, and I did already hydrate with some regular moisturizer. It's one that has like some other healthy ingredients in it too. It's one I actually made for myself. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to sell it through Adorned with Grace. There's a lot that goes involved with skincare like that. But right now I like to focus on my minerals. So, okay, and one of the things, and I may have to do like a bit of a edit and time jump, is you do want to let the primer just rest in your skin for at least a couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes if you feel like maybe like me, you might have gotten a little bit too much on. So just do that. But actually what I might do is kind of explain for those that may have like the oilier or acne prone skin. And what usually I recommend is to use like an oil control primer or even like an oil control powder underneath your foundation and even on top of it. They call that the sandwich method because, obviously you have the, I don't have to explain, but that's something that you can do for your foundation if you feel like your skin gets a little bit too oily. Okay, now that we've let the primer adequately dry, I'm going to discuss what brushes you can use. So the most popular brush, and the one that's probably the most famous with mineral makeup, is the kabuki brush. And as you can see, it's got a very nice full head, and it's very nice and thick. And of course, it has a short handle. Now, if you are somebody that has like grip issues where it may be harder to manage something small like this, because you do have to be able to have that kind of almost a claw grasp, right? You can use or find something that has a longer handle. So this is still a kabuki brush. You can see they're about the same in fullness and in thickness, but it's a lot easier to control. And I know because my day job is I am an occupational therapist. And some people that I work with have arthritis. Some people just have general weakness, and some people have the carpal tunnel. So if you are having trouble with like holding something a little bit smaller, this is a good option for you to try. Now, I personally like the flat top. And the reason why is, as you can see, it has a flat top, especially compared with a regular kabuki brush. And what I think it does is it gets more of the minerals on your face sooner. So I tend to be a little bit impatient, but I still want like a good application. But this is one that is able to do it. Now you can see I still had quite a bit of minerals in there. But anyway, so this is the brush you use. Now, when you start to put your makeup on, you will get your jar, you'll take your lid, and you'll just tap just a very little bit at first. And you can see this is, when I say little bit, that is about what I can put on. I don't know if you can see that, but that's all I put on. And then I take my brush, and you just, in circular motions, you get that worked up in there. Now you can see that's about how much powder I have. Later on, I'll show you the don'ts of what you're not supposed to do when you're getting the powder on there. But let me just start by putting this on first. So you would just start with the part of your face that has the most space. So for me, that's going to be the cheek, and of course for you as well. I don't know, maybe some people have a bigger forehead, right? But you can put it on, they say circular motions, but sometimes I do sweeping motions. I'm trying to remember. So I have to be honest with you guys. I am shooting this with my iPhone, and it's really hard to remember to look at the actual camera, which is on the end and not at the top, because I want it done, you know, for YouTube standards where it looks like it can fit on your TV. So, but yeah, so that's what I basically do. And I just start off with that. And I'll go on a little bit more about like if you do need to do some concealer, but I'll do that maybe toward the end of this part. Okay, so I feel like that looks pretty good. It's nice and natural. You can see my skin's actually been pretty good lately. I mean, I have to say I've been impressed with my skin, and I've been very proud of it. So I haven't had to do a lot of concealing, and it still looks, you know, pretty smooth. It's just once you have the foundation on, and once I have the foundation on, it looks so much smoother. Okay, and so what you do is that you can tap a little bit more. I'm doing just a very little bit, and I'm going to do the other side. So there. Now I think that's actually a little bit too much, but you'll kind of see. I may have to tap some of it. Okay. So again, we're going to swirl, get the makeup nice and embedded into the bristles. Okay. Then same thing, just doing a bit of a circular motion. Sorry, didn't mean to shake the camera. And then the reason why you want to start on the larger part of your face is because when you start going to the smaller areas like your nose, you know, you don't want like a whole lot of powder on that, because it's a lot easier to add to than to take away. And I'll actually show you like some of the mistakes you're not supposed to do. So this is, okay, look in my mirror there. I feel like that looks pretty nice and even. Okay, so this I would probably, for the most part, stop right here. But let me just show you. So like, let's say, so this is the first stone. So the first stone is, of course, if you put in too much powder. Okay, so like some people, they like to put on this much. I actually saw a tutorial where they put about this much foundation on there. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be, and sure enough, I saw a cloud of smoke, much like you're going to see here. So like when you start, you know, doing that, now you're not seeing a cloud of smoke there yet, but I don't know, can you see it? There we go. So that's, you can tell when you're using too much when you have that cloud floating up there like that. And so when that happens, and you feel like, even because, you know, there's still like some powder left in there, I don't know if you can see how the corners. So I just get like a paper towel, and you can see I've been practicing. So I just add some of the extra there, get some of that powder off, because, you know, when you do this, there's still plenty of powder in the brush, right? You just saw. So you just worry about that. And then now you can go back over. Now, so one of the things I did want to show you, so like, let's say you put on like a whole lot of powder, you know, there you can see there's powder, and then you just like stick it right on your nose. And if you can see, I mean, it's going to really emphasize, just like it's going to look really cakey and powdery, and it is a lot harder to get the rest of that off. And I'll probably do some serious buffing here just to do that. But that's what you prefer to do, really like light, thin layers. It's better to take your time with it and make sure so that it looks more like your skin. One of the pluses is when you do the kabuki brushes all over your face, it does feel really good. It feels like a nice massage for your face. And I can imagine that would only be good because I know in therapy, massage helps bring blood to that area. And then if you have blood coming to an area, it helps with the healing a little bit better. But I think for me, it's more just like the nice feel. This flat top that I have, I do believe I still have a few of these, like at my store. And it's made from synthetic fiber, so this is a totally vegan brush, and it just feels really nice and soft. So even if I didn't have makeup on it, you probably might catch me trying to rub it all over my face anyway, just to help in calming. Yeah, so that's pretty much, I feel like it for the most part looks pretty good. Yeah, so this is like one of my first videos, and I hope to improve with lighting and, and just visuals in general. But I really, really wanted to get this because this has always been my desire to really, show you how to put it on. I actually have something coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about it. It's probably out by now, so maybe I'll have a link later on, but I really want to do a lot of education on how to put on mineral makeup, because unfortunately it's gotten a bit of a bad rep. It's known for being kind of powdery and it looks cakey and not good for mature skin, but all of that's not true. You just have to put it on the right way. And so by doing this, I hope that it will get you more interested in putting on mineral makeup. And I know I'm actually done. I'm just still brushing because, like I said, it feels so good. Okay, so that is pretty much it for how my application goes for the all over face. Now, one of the things that I do get asked is, so what about concealer? Like, can you use a regular like liquid or like a stick concealer or something? And yeah, you probably can. I would use it like underneath, because like once you put it on top, I don't know if it would look that great. So what I do, like if I feel like I need some extra concealing, I will get, now this is called like a round contour brush. If you can see basically the shape of it, it's sort of like it's rounded. It's not quite as pointed as I would necessarily use if you're trying to do some really fine, small blemishes, but something like this would help. So like if you were to take this and just sort of like dip it in like that, just kind of pat it on, you can use this to cover whatever blemishes you have. And so let's say I have one like right here, and you would do that. And you can like put that where it's like under, and then just sort of blend. And I do think like if you have blemishes, it's better to go ahead and put your foundation on first and then see where the foundation maybe not have covered it as well. Like if it's something that is like really large and red. Yeah, unfortunately that has happened. I don't know if to all of us, some people have always had perfect skin. But yeah, and so because you don't want to like overdo it too much. And then the other thing too is like dark circles, which that is what I'm famous for. And that may be something that I have to do a whole separate tutorial. But again, you can just use your foundation. You could probably use like a lighter foundation and use it like underneath your eyes. But there is like a trick to that, because that one you don't want to do the swirl buff and all that, because you don't want it pressing in, because one, that's not good for your skin because it's such a delicate skin. So like what I do is I just do like this, where I'm like patting it on. And I don't know if you can necessarily see a difference, because I feel like it does cover the darkness at least, because you can't really expect, like even with like regular liquid foundation and liquid concealers, you can't exactly expect that it's just going to erase what that looks like. I mean, if somebody can do that, I guess that, I don't know what kind of chemicals they're able to get in the skin to do that, but it has some special ingredients for that, for sure. So, but this is like the natural stuff. And so, and then, just kind of give it some time to meld into your skin. And then what I usually do is like after I put on all my other makeup and everything, I check it. And you just do like a little check. And if you don't want to use something like this, you could technically use your pinky finger, because that's like your weakest finger, right? And you can just kind of pat it on. I'm going to use my other side here, because you just want to stay really gentle with that part of your eyes. You're underneath. So there you go. Okay. All right. So this is basically what your powder foundation looks like once you're all done. And again, we may go over it with something with concealers and how to do more serious things. Okay. Well, I will catch you guys next time, and please subscribe so that you can keep up with all the fun tutorials and then some of the other looks. Hopefully we have one working. I'm going to practice on my summer look that I like to do, especially now that it is officially summer. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye. I am adored.